What is up, everybody? This is RadTechShoe, and I am bringing you part 11 of my Devil May Cry 4 LP. We've got a big mission ahead of us today. Not big as in length, but big as in significant story-wise. So I'm just showing you how many blue and purple orbs I've purchased. I'm not going to really buy much of anything, except for one thing right here. I'm going to get Exceed level 2. So now when Nero uses attacks while he's revved up, he'll access even more powerful abilities, and you'll see me do some of them here in this mission. So let's go ahead and start. Alright, so right off the bat we have a combat adjudicator we're going to go get, and this is a big combat adjudicator. It's a triple S, so it's gonna take me some time to get it, and I'm gonna need to devil trigger. Well, I don't need to. During my practice playthrough, I got it without a devil trigger, but here I tried to speed things up a little bit by getting a devil trigger. By devil triggering in order to fulfill the requirements of getting a triple S. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable without devil trigger. But as you can tell, I've only got 3 devil trigger slots full right now, so devil trigger won't last that long for us. So the layout of this mission is pretty much we're already here. We're just going to be circling around as we move up. We're right around a statue which is known as the Savior, and the Savior is pretty much what His Holiness has been creating this whole time and trying to power up and, you know, make sure it was ready. So we're going to find out exactly what's going on with the statue once we initiate the boss battle. But we're almost there. We're almost at a triple S. Like I said, it takes a while. And this combat adjudicator is one of the reasons why I purchased so many moves for Nero, just because I knew that this one was that triple S combat adjudicators for Nero were going to be hard. So for the most part, this is going to be a simple mission. There's not going to be too difficult. There are a couple hidden red orb stashes laying around. There's no secret missions, and there's going to be one, and this is the only blue orb fragment right here. So we've almost got it. Got it. Finally. Okay. So let's go ahead here. Alright, the grapple points are timed. They'll go away after a few seconds, so go ahead and quickly get up here. Rev up. We got some Mephisto and a Faust we need to deal with. So this mission is going to be the last mission we're going to play with Nero. You know, spoiler alert for those of you who don't know. It's been a fun ride, but this is the last time we're gonna play with Nero for a very, very long time. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get as many blue orb fragments as I could with Nero. Alright, so now that the 2 Mephisto are dead, I can focus on the Faust. So, for the most part, this is... Yeah, Nero's been fun. It's been a lot of fun playing as him. I know a lot of people don't like him. I consider his character to be unique and refreshing. He's got a bit of an attitude. He's definitely young and cocky, like Dante from Devil May Cry 3, which is a good balance. And it's one of the reasons... but he's not overly vulgar. It's, you know... For those of you who are wondering what my 5th title will be after I do Devil May Cry 4, It's not going to be the DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot. It's not going to be that. I'm just letting you know right now. That game was okay, but I didn't like the new Dante. I didn't like how vulgar and, you know, disrespectful and just basically, I didn't like it. I didn't like him. I don't think he was a good Dante. And I know some people were like, well, it's like Dante from Devil May Cry 3, and I'm like, yeah, but the new Dante is extremely foul-mouthed. He's cursing all over the place. He really does not care about anyone. I mean, and he lives in a trailer and he sleeps with other women all the time. I mean, come on. He's pretty much a white trash devil hunter. When you first look at him, look at his living conditions. Look how he carries himself. He behaves like white trash. And that's just pathetic. That's not someone you want as a main protagonist. You don't, I mean, come on. How many characters do you think are like great characters because they're white trash? None in video game history or movie history that I can think of that are great icons or like someone who you want to be. Like Dante from Devil May Cry is so cool. It's like you want to be him. You want to be just as cool as Dante. The new Dante, I don't want to be like him. I would never want to be like him. Having his powers is cool and all, but his behavior just fucking sucks. He's terrible. He is white. He is white trash, and he's not someone you want to have as a role model. I mean, if I had kids that said that they like playing as him, I would be concerned for my kids. But anyway, over here we've got more grapple points, but instead of getting those grapple points, come on down here for a Devil Star. Once you reach on the bottom plank right here, and you get to the halfway point, you'll automatically trigger a fight. So even though I already fell down here, but because I fell down on the second half of the path down here, I didn't trigger the fight. It's only if you land on the first half do you trigger the Bianco Angelos. So yeah, I'm pretty big on characters in terms of video games. Like, I want characters that I can identify with, that I can, in a way, well, not in a way, the characters that I can respect. And I respect this Dante, I respect Nero, I respect Lady, I respect Lucia, I respect almost every character from the Devil May Cry series, except the new Dante. You know, I just don't like the new Dante. He's a punk, he's foul-mouthed, he cares about... I mean, he's about to... I mean, I remember one of the cutscenes where the female cat, she's trying to help him. He's pointing his gun at her just because, you know, and he's threatening to kill her. Right off the bat. First time meeting her. And I'm like, dude, really? You know, I just, like, I understand he's being cautious, but you don't need to threaten, you know, a girl who walks up to you and says she's trying to help you. I don't think there's a need for that character. I understand some people might try and defend this Dante and say that he's a more westernized version of the original Dante, and I'm like, if this is a westernized stereotype, then apparently people think that a lot of Westerners are terrible people. Like, this is a horrible stereotype for Westerners if this is supposed to be a Western version of Dante. You know, I think that's a bad sign. I mean, I carry myself as a respectable person. I don't care much for this new Dante at all because I don't think he's worthy of being respected. I don't think he behaves in a respectable manner. So that's why I won't be playing the new Devil May Cry game. It's a good game, mind you, and there were times where it was fun and funny, but the new Dante is just a character I despise. I hate him. I think he's a terrible character and a bad protagonist. He's not someone you want to play as because he's not someone I want to be. Nero, I wouldn't mind him being a role model. Nero, Dante, younger Dante, older Dante, Lady to an extent, you know, Lucia, like, they're all respectable characters. The new Dante, not so much. So that's why I will not be playing the new Devil May Cry when I finish with 4. So if that upsets anyone, well, too bad. So up here, once we defeat all of the Alto Angelo and the Bianco Angelos, we will trigger the elevator that will take us all the way up to our boss battle. So the mission is actually, we're almost at the halfway point. But we've got some cutscenes, we've got a boss battle, we've got some ending cutscenes, we've got a... You know, this is going to be one of those videos where the cutscenes take up a good chunk of the video. Alright, so... right over here, there's our elevator, which will take us up to our boss battle. Look at that. Just over 11 minutes and we're already getting ready to head to the final area of this mission. However, there is one area where we can do a bit of grinding, where we can just fight enemies that's in a seemingly endless manner. I think they're endless. I haven't tried. I'm just going to show you the first wave of each enemy type, and then I'm going to move on. So the first wave right here is Scarecrows. Once you defeat the Scarecrows, a new type of enemy will appear. And it is 2 Alto Angelos. So let's just go ahead and deal with them. Like I said, Alto Angelos, they're tougher than Biancos, but we know how to defeat them by now. And even 2-on-1, we can handle this situation, especially with Devil Trigger. Here's a tip for Devil Trigger, if you haven't noticed what I'm doing. When I grapple someone while I'm in Devil Trigger, I immediately deactivate Devil Trigger. There's no point in keeping it running while the throw animation is going. It'll just waste Devil Trigger. Because Nero, even though he no longer has Devil Trigger, as long as he started the grapple while in Devil Trigger, he will continue a throw as if Devil Trigger's still active. He'll do the entire throw animation. His Devil Trigger spirit behind him will still be out and about. He'll continue the entire throw animation as if he were in Devil Trigger. And once the throw's over, then he'll behave as if he's no longer in Devil Trigger, obviously. So right here we've got a few more Scarecrows. And right now we have 2 more Bianco Angelos. So at this point, it's Scarecrows, Alto Angelos, Scarecrows, Bianco Angelos. After I defeat the Bianco Angelos, there's going to be another wave of Scarecrows, and I'm just going to bypass them at that point. So once I defeat this Bianco Angelo, Scarecrows will pop in. I'm going to defeat 1 Scarecrow, and then I'm going to move on. Alright, so here are our Scarecrows. I'm just going to kill this one, and then we're going to move on. Alright, I'm going to get on the elevator. Let's head up and do our boss battle. Alright, move forward, rev up, and then initiate the cutscene.
Is it not beautiful?
I think we've got a difference of opinion on that one.
How unfortunate.
Kyrie.
Is it not your wish to become one with her? Within the Savior, your mortal bodies will combine, melting into one to manifest and create his core. A thing of utter and pure beauty.
Go blow yourself. I'm here to save you. Please trust me.
I'm afraid you are too late. But, although still incomplete, this is your chance to catch a glimpse of the true power of our Savior.
Alright, so we get to take on His Holiness. Alright, so you'll notice the grapple points that constantly appear in front of him. He'll move away from you. When you do, when he moves away from you, use the grapple points to close the distance. You have to shatter the shield in order to deal damage to him, to get at him directly, and when you do, just unload on him.
You are the demon, not me.
Every time you grapple with him, you do an awesome melee combo, and Nero has some choice words to say about his actions or how he thinks of Nero. So, like I said, right here, use the grapple points, try and follow him around. He'll constantly try and move, so one thing you can do is just let him start doing attacks. Like, let him get some distance, let him start doing attacks. He'll stay stationary when he does the attacks, and then close the distance. Double trigger onto him, and then just wail into him. Right off the bat, dodge its attack. You don't have to worry about fighting the Savior. Once he does his pound attack, His Holiness will come out and attack you again. Now he's got some more laser attacks and a fireball attack. So just go ahead and wail into him. Right here, I almost finish him off, but I got a little too greedy with my slashes. And I should have meleeed him, and then he quickly generates his shield again. If given enough time, if the fight takes too long, he'll retreat back inside the Savior again, and the Savior will execute another attack. But as you can see, it doesn't do much damage. So let's just go ahead and finish this old man off. Shatter his shield, knock him out of the sky, and now let's finish him off with style, with one last final taunt.
Not interested in your bullshit.
Held back by love. Such a shame. Still, I must salute a man who carries the blood of Sparta. While not in Dante's league, you still presented a harder fight than I had anticipated.
Dante?
I had originally intended to absorb him into our Savior. But circumstance presenting, I'd rather choose the option at hand. ultimate goal. No! Run! You have betrayed us. Why?
I served the dream of a world you spoke of. The savior you preached of. But you used my sister, KDA, who has nothing to do with this. And that is beyond forgiveness.
Love for a sibling. How foolish. All that is needed is absolute power. Oh, it's you, Gloria. Unfortunately, you did not anticipate a descendant of Sparta's blood. And because of this boy, you have been outwitted, and the savior will be completed.
I don't know. I'd wager this kid still got some life in him.
You fool! Escape is now impossible. The creation cannot be stopped.
Hey, kid! You giving up so soon?
My options are limited.
So melodramatic. Besides, if you die without giving my sword back, I'm gonna be pissed.
Then come and get it.
What a punk.
I failed to save you.
I swear I'm gonna get us out of here! Together, Gideon! Gideon! Check it out. It's got wings.
The design shows terrible taste.
Hey, Where's that thing going? It's not complete yet, is it?
It is in his heart to save the world from chaos. He will begin by driving it out.
Now he has what he needs. Yamato.
Sparta used it to seal the Hellgate from the demon world. The sword is the key to opening the Hellgate. The real Hellgate that lies dormant beneath this city.
The sword that separates the human world from the demon world.
I think you, the son of the Dark Knight Sparta, are the only one who can stop the Savior now. Dante.
Looks like you've got a rep to live up to.
Looks that way.
Please, honor one last request. Save them. Kyrie and Nero.
I'll do it. I wouldn't want to deny anyone their dying request.
I'll sweep the city and evacuate the people.
Hey, is this your way of ditching and dumping this
You want
mess
to
up?
switch?
It's cool. Let's stick to the plan.
Alright, and that is the end of mission 11, and we have done it, ladies and gentlemen. And look at those numbers. Triple S's all across the board. What a fitting way to end our LP, the halfway point of our LP with Nero. We are done with Nero for now. We are going to be playing as Dante. Nero has been absorbed into the Savior along with Kyrie, and it is now Dante's job to save him. So now we get to play as the glorious badass himself. And right here, look at that, halfway through, or halfway there, we're done. We are halfway through the game, and Smokin' Six style, triple S's all across. Gotta love it. Alright, so let's just go ahead and save our game, overwrite our data. And I'm looking forward to this. Dante's got all four basic fighting styles he had from the last game, and I will explain them all to you, and I will see you all in the next mission. This is RadTech Shoot, signing off.